Hey guys, Puali here, and I'm back with another Evetown related video. I hope you guys have been liking them because I really enjoy making them. Now last time I talked about the general story of Evetown, but this time I wanted to talk a bit more about Evetown's residents, specifically some of Hollow's friends. I'll only be talking about like 2 or 3 of them because although I do have a few other characters related to this story and Evetown, they're not as developed as these guys that I'm gonna mention. But yeah, so as y'all know, Hollow's a vampire, but he's certainly not the only one in town. There's also werewolves and witches and of course ghosts. You know, think like Halloween Town. Yeah, basically Halloween Town. There's a reason behind that and I'll get to that in a bit, but first I'll talk a bit more about like the characters itself. So there's Ryu. He's a shapeshifter. He turns into a lizard / dragon, as his name states. Originally though, this is like a recent change, sort of like how I updated Tim's appearance. Well, with Ryu, I don't know why I named him like that because originally he was a werewolf. Or like shapeshifter that turns into a sort of wolf. But I still named him Ryu, which I just blame into my anime loving self from high school that hasn't really died out yet. But basically I just wanted to make him be a bit more loyal to his name, and instead of like making him turn into a wolf, I'll make him turn into a dragon, which makes more sense because of his name. And he's basically Hollow's best friend. He's pretty protective and loves cooking, and from time to time he sort of acts like Hollow's bodyguard, even though he doesn't need it. But like, if you need a very intimidating person that's actually very lovable, then that's basically Ryu. Like Mori senpai from Ouran High School Host Club. That's basically him, but like a lot more expressive. Yeah, like the intimidating person in the group that's not really like actually intimidating. He's just very lovable. So then there's Poppy. She's the witch in training, and you can basically ask her for any spell or potion. She'll make it for you, no sweat. Just don't really expect for it to actually work. As I said, she's a witch in training, and she's just learning. Don't blame her if your spell or potion doesn't work. She's, just learning the ropes and trying to just live by as a witch. Now there was another witch character in this story who was Poppy's best friend. Her name was Sakura. There's basically not much to talk about her. She's just one of those side characters that I added and that never really developed. So sorry, Sakura, I'll try and make it up to you later. And then lastly, there's Tim, who's like the main character of this year's Inktober. But he's basically, as I've already said, he's a ghost, and he clearly has some unfinished business. But he somehow senses that his unfinished business isn't in town or Evetown. It's somewhere outside of town. But for him to actually get it done, he has to actually leave town, which he can't. Which is weird because he's a ghost. What would keep a ghost in, right? So he needs to somehow leave town, which is why he teams up with Hollow in the first place to start investigating and see like how they can get out of town. And they basically turn into partners in crime. Ryu and Poppy like help out with investigations, but it's really Hollow and Tim who are genuinely interested in uncovering all of these secrets. Yeah. So those are like the main characters of this story. As I said, there's actually a reason behind all of these supernatural creatures and why they're gathered into one town. It's definitely not normal, and Hollow is very clear. He knows that it's like not okay or not common for all of these supernatural beings to be gathered in such a small town. He's not that dumb, but he's like apparently the only one that actually thinks it's weird. Go figure. He seems to be like the only one concerned by such an occurrence. Another detail from Evetown is that there's pretty much normal people in town, and they're fully aware that they are living among the supernatural. They're even willing to offer themselves up to them for some reason. Again, another red flag. Why would people just be genuinely open about this sort of thing? I know there's people that would totally go for it. But like for everybody to be so fully willing to actually do this sort of thing, not common. So like, you know, where's their sense of self-preservation gone, you know? Another question of Hollow's as to what the hell's going on in his hometown. So these are just a few of the questions that are going through Hollow's head as he like thinks about how the hell to get out of town. And he's dead set on thinking that the mysterious boy he found just inside of town, more like, is like that he has all of the answers to this sort of thing. And he's not completely wrong about that. The key to getting a lot of these answers, the problem is that Tick, the mysterious boy, isn't aware that he's technically the person like with all the answers, because from his point of view, the town's what's like weird. He just doesn't really get it. He's obviously an outsider, so he doesn't really understand the predicament that they're in right now. Hollow really has no idea about what he's about to uncover. And neither does Tick, and neither does Tim. Like, they don't even know what they're getting into. That's basically it for, like, the notes that I had to tell you guys about this story. But yeah, like, Evetown is pretty weird. If anything, it's really messy. I can't lie about that. It's a story I created back in high school, and I know there's a lot of plot holes. It's not a perfect story, but all in all, I was just trying to have fun as I made these stories. Back in high school, I just created a bunch of characters. Like, I created characters and then I thought about their stories. Like, I didn't already have stories planned out and then created characters. It was the other way around. I created characters and I dumped them into stories, which is basically what happened here. Because Evetown was a story in itself, but then I mixed it with Tick's story, which I'm not sure what to call it. Tick's story is basically kind of sci-fi, so mix that in with supernatural, and I don't know what you get, but it's basically what I've been talking to you guys about. I don't want to get into that because it's kind of like a plot twist in all of this, and it's like the biggest detail of all in this story, like the number one mystery to unsolve about Evetown. So I'll leave that question unanswered, and you guys can make assumptions if you want. But yeah, that's about all I'm gonna be talking about Evetown. If you guys have any questions about this story or anything, just comments in general, I'd be happy to hear them. So please leave your comments down below, or just leave a like, subscribe if you want. Tell me if you guys want to like hear more about my characters and videos like these, because I really do enjoy making them. I hope you guys like them as much as I do. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for listening to me rant again about my OCs, and I hope you liked it. So see you in the next video.